Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, whichever you prefer. Today, we are going to be doing our learning lab for Friday. The objects and materials that I have for today are my trusty lab coat, and my lab coat protects my clothes underneath from getting dirty. We also have food coloring that is red. Good job. I also have my little flask, which has the letter C for cold, W for warm, and H for hot. I also have sticky notes that tell us where our water will go: cold, warm, and hot. Very good. And you know what else I have? I also have ice cold water. I have warm water or room temperature water. And I also have, ooh, careful, very hot water in here. All right, so for our learning lab today, we are going to be observing water and food coloring. What is going to happen is we are going to look at how fast or slow food coloring moves in water, okay? Now, a word that I want us to practice again is observe. Everyone say observe. Good job. And observe is when you are just using your eyes to watch something, or you're using your hands to feel something, your nose to smell something, your ears to listen to something. And oftentimes we don't taste things in learning lab, but maybe we'll get lucky this semester and are able to taste something that we are observing, okay? So you're going to be using your 5 senses minus tasting and smelling. We won't smell and we won't taste today, okay? All right. Now the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take my cold water and pour it in my flask that has a C, okay? There's my cold water. How do you think this cold water feels? Pretty cold, right? Think in your brain. What can you tell me that you know is very cold when you touch it? Ice, very good. What else? Snow is cold too. What can you think in your kitchen that is cold? The freezer. The freezer is very cold. The freezer is actually freezing, isn't it? Good job. Now we are going to add our warm water. When we think about warm water, we want to think about water that is not in the refrigerator and not in the hot sun. Warm water is usually poured into a cup and left out in your house just to sit. It is warm. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's right in the middle. And our last water we're gonna add is our, good job, our hot water. So be very careful when you're adding your hot water. Make sure you have a grown-up with you when you're adding hot water. Think in your brain for a second. What can you tell me that is hot? Good job. Yes, the sun is very hot. Can we touch the sun? Absolutely not. We can't touch the sun. It's way too hot. But we can feel the heat on our bodies coming from the sun. That's very hot. And what else is hot that mommy and daddy and grandma do not want you to touch? Good, the stove is hot. We do not touch the stove, only grown-ups. Very good. So remember, when you're putting your hot water in here, always ask a grown-up to help you. Okay, now it's time for the fun part. Are you ready? Now I'm going to add our food coloring in our cold water, our warm water, and our hot water. We are going to observe what happens to the food coloring. Are you ready? Okay, let me move you closer. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, let's move you down. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now, first, let's test our cold. Very good. Let's test our cold and see what happens. Let's add 3 drops. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. What's happening? How is the food coloring in the cold water different from the hot water? Very good. This one seems darker, doesn't it? This red seems darker than the one with the hot water. Very good. Which food coloring took the longest to spread out? Good job. I think the cold one took the longest to spread out. Which food coloring spread out the quickest? That means the fastest. Oh no, you want to try it again? Let's see. Let's pour some hot water in this one. And let's observe the hot and the cold. Let's pour some cold water in this one. All right, hot, cold. Are you ready? This time, Miss Bobby is actually going to pour them in at the same time, all right? I'm going to pour that food coloring in at the same time. Are you ready? Ooh. This time it looked like they both spread at the exact same time. Neither one went faster or slower than the other. That's pretty interesting to me. These were some pretty good evaluations and observations. Very good, everyone. Thank you for joining me in our Learning Lab today. And remember, always stay safe with Learning Lab and have fun. See you later.